recording live from New York. It's Wednesday night, a big night for the pod. Every Wednesday, we've recorded a pod in the past year.
Not true.
Fake news. That's how fake news starts, and that's how fake news spreads.
I didn't want to say anything, so I'm glad you said something.
Dela would have been a conduit for the fake news, James.
That's right, because that's my job.
Now, James, do you want to hear my Billy Joel collection from start to finish?
No.
Already have, so
already have. Dela, I'm going to be honest with you. Me and James did a long boys trip in Troy. Have you ever heard of the Troy Boys?
No, but it sounds like something you just made up just now to say it.
Troy Boys are a thing. That's
Troy Boys are a thing. It's when me and James and two other boys go up to Troy, and we form a group of the Troy Boys. So what do you think of that?
That's hilarious.
Man, you didn't think it was that hilarious. I would have seen more laughter. Anyway, so we ended up doing a whole Joel anthology on the way up, James and I. We got through about an hour and a half, and then we couldn't take any more Joel. But I don't know if you're a Joel fan. Before, I was a big Joel fan. After, even a bigger one. What about you, James?
I didn't really like Joel, and I'm committed to that stance.
Dela, are you a big Joel fan?
I've never listened to a single Billy Joel song, except for maybe wait, what's that one? Is it Born in the USA? Is that him or no?
Oh, God.
No.
Okay, well then no.
That's Bruce Springsteen.
Okay, well then yeah.
You know Billy Joel.
His name is in the rafters at Madison Garden for some BS record they gave him. But aside from that, I don't.
You don't know?
You're the
Piano Man.
Yes.
Dela, you don't know Piano Man?
Sing it to me.
Sing us a song, you're the Piano Man. Sing us a song tonight.
Oh yeah, I've heard that, and then I press next.
There you go.
So
That's a good approach.
What about this song? Oh, only the good die young. Only the good die young.
Oh, that's him? Yeah, I heard it at a bar in Boston once.
All right, what about this song? Uptown girls, you've been living with your uptown.
Oh, that's
girls.
him?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was like
these are all Joel. You want me to keep going?
No, that's enough.
Okay.
Two River of Dreams.
In the middle of the night.
Oh, that's him too?
Yeah, these are all Billy Joel. He's got bops. What about this? You had to be a big shot. Did you had to open up your mouth? You had to be a big. Until you say that's him, I'm going to keep going, Dela. So end the madness.
Wow, I had no idea he had so many hits.
What about this last one? Keep it to yourself. It's my life. Na, 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 na,
I've never heard that one before. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't even know that one.
Oh, what about this one? I'm moving out. I'm moving out.
I wish we could move out of this segment.
All right, let's jump into what's going on in society these days. Since the last time we talked back in April. We're in May now. It's like I don't even know what's going on anymore, you know? I'll tell you what's going on. Nothing, Dela. Nothing's going on.
Why is nothing going on? Everything's going on over here.
Nothing's going on because, well, actually, we're getting out of this pandemic, which is kind of nice. Everyone's getting vaxxed up.
That's right. New York opens in 14 days, bro.
Quarantine's over in 14 days?
No, New York opens in 14 days.
I know, it's sick. That's because we got everyone vaxxed up to hell.
That's right, big vax.
Yeah, big vax is vaxing up. We don't even have to wear masks outside.
That's right. I did know that. I did. Big vaccine is making sure things go well.
Yeah, could you imagine the rollout plan under Trump? It didn't exist. So
it wouldn't have existed.
Yeah. It would have been wild. But anyway, I'm glad I got vaxxed. I got that J&J before they clotted it up, you know?
I know.
You know, the last time we were talking, I think Cuomo was in like some shit, but like nobody hears about that anymore, right? Look at
That's
Tom
what
the
we were
news.
talking about last time was how Cuomo didn't get enough shit.
No, I know. It's just crazy how the news just flies by. And then Matt Gaetz, I feel like we heard a little bit about him, and now it's like pretty obvious. Somebody else admitted that he was with him when they ordered the 17-year-old or something, who they had sex with her.
God.
And then you got Giuliani is raided for I don't know what they're trying to get for him. I mean,
Yep.
it's not good enough for me.
Well,
I want.
if you want to go to throwbacks, we should also go back to Trump saying that he loves Hispanic people because of Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo, that's right. He loves his taco.
Oh, I
Remember
totally
the taco
forgot
shell
about
thing?
that.
Yeah.
You know, I love Hispanic people, not because of Cinco de Mayo, but didn't he eat like
He had like a Taco Bell like bowl or something.
Right. It
He
wasn't
had
Taco
like the
Bell.
grossest meal ever.
It was made in the Trump Tower. Like they have a Mexican restaurant in the Trump Tower. At least I remember that when I was there. And
I
so
thought
they
he
have
only ate McDonald's.
no. He eats from Mexicans. Remember the Hispanics.
That's wild. Yeah, dude. I feel like we're gonna get Trump 2024, or are we getting DeSantis 2024? We're getting one of those two.
One
Yeah.
of those nut jobs.
Yeah, we're getting one of those nut jobs. I would
Yeah.
actually probably rather have Trump because he's kind of an incoherent moron, and I feel like, you know, the people that still support him are going to support him, but I feel like he still lost too many people. There's no group that can, like, you know, kind of be on the fence with it. There's the people that are with him no matter what, and that's kind of sunk, the 40% or whatever, and then there's like the, you know, 60% that are like, nah, I'm not into it anymore.
That's true.
So,
Yeah,
but I'm thinking that you do have
DeSantis is a total whack job.
no, but
Like,
DeSantis,
and do you think
he's
he can
a
like
person.
actually win over people? Because he's
Yeah.
like a nut.
No, he
Everyone,
should be
everyone
Trump.
thinks he did a great job. All the Republicans think he did a great job during
Yeah,
COVID. So.
because he does a good blend of Trump like nonsense with, like, you know, putting it into like a statement that's not just like blatantly racist. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Trump will say it's so dumb, and he'll say like really stupid shit, and people will be like, "Oh, you're such an asshole." But then he'll do the same bravado, DeSantis, but he'll put in like a
It's
little bit
better
of framing.
packaged.
Yeah, it's packaged, so it's like, oh, this is all Republican stuff that we need to get done.
Isn't part of Trump's appeal is that he's not packaged very well? That he does come out and he's like, hey, I'm a raging racist. Like, look at me.
Trump's appeal, yeah, was
all
that
those
that's like
people
that,
out.
that gets him like a nice base. Like that riles up like 30% of the base. You got to get the other people that are like, ooh, I really just want like my tax cut. You know, they don't care about anything else going on. So like you got the people that are like, yeah, I'm pretty racist. Like I really don't. I like when the police like kill people. I don't give a fuck about anything that doesn't affect me. Those people are like Trump, because he doesn't really like silence about any. He does it like really. He doesn't even do dog whistles. He just like blurts it out. You know what I mean? All of his racism. But I'm saying, you have like DeSantis who will just do it through like policies, the classic old Republican way, and throw in a little bit of like Trump racism in there. It's like a little mix. They'll like bring up transgenders in sports when that's not a problem, because it's like that's what's getting the base
That's
going.
what gets it going.
The pandemic, they'll be like, this is what we should really care about. You know, Mr. Potato Head and Dr. Seuss and transgenders going into the bathroom and all like stuff that like no abortion laws that have already been decided on, like real, you know, the real standard Republican cultural nonsense. That's the message, which is why that's why I'd be more fearful of DeSantis, because Trump people already know, right? People already hated Trump enough. He lost everything for the Republican Party.
Yeah.
And to do that again would be great. I would like him because people hate him so much that even the Democrats will come out and vote. You know what I'm really pissed about?
So you think?
I think they would. If it was Trump again, people don't need to be re-explained why Trump is so horrible. I feel like you would have to explain to people why DeSantis is so horrible, which is a lot harder because Trump's outwardly terrible, and we've already dealt with it for like 6 years now of Trump being outwardly terrible, and then that insurrection happened. So it's like it's not looking great. We can bring that up again, but like I don't think Trump would have another 4 years. Like I don't think he could get reelected again. I mean, he could. Anything could happen.
You don't think, bro? He barely. I told y'all, Biden barely won them damn states, bro. He could absolutely win again. What do you mean?
I guess you're right. He could actually absolutely win again. Well, we've done. I actually feel like though the people that were on the fence about voting, like if you have the same group of voters come out, I mean, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of disenfranchised voters because of all the voting laws voter suppression laws that were passed. Yeah, you're right. He could easily win again. I'm still more fearful of DeSantis because I feel like that's just Trump in a different package that's more suitable to even because there are people that really want a tax cut, but also really couldn't go along with Trump because of even their social circles were so mad at them and would have shamed them to the point where even their horrible integrity, what little is left, couldn't have them vote for Trump. But yet, I don't think the same exists for DeSantis. You know what I mean? Same bravado, same nonsense, but they think they can get a tax cut without all the nonsense. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's a more presentable Trump, which I think is what Republican voters really want an excuse to vote for. They want the same stupid shit, but they want it presentable so that people can't yell at them. Also, you have most recently Liz Cheney is going to be voted out as chair. You're going to have Mitt Romney getting booed off stage. And I saw some stupid ass tweet by Mitt Romney being like, "Can you believe what the Republican Party is doing to Liz Cheney, someone who's willing to tell the truth?" And it's that's your fucking party. What kind of a goober is saying, look at the Republican Party, look what they've become. That's you. That's your shit. What are you talking about? That guy's the biggest phony alive. They all are. They all are big phonies. I'm sick of them saying all the things they have problems with. I'm sick of Liz Cheney too, because you also enabled it for so long. I'm glad you're speaking up now, but your party's fucked. Why don't you flip sides then if you're so outraged by what your party's become, a party of white supremacist lunatics? Why don't you go and speak out? Why don't you stop speaking against them? Why don't you join the other side? Really make a point. No, she's not going to do anything. And Mitt Romney's not going to do anything either. He's going to get booed out of wherever the hell, Utah, like a clown. You like it, James? You want him as you'd like him as your senator?
Yeah, I mean, anything would be better than what we have here in Montana.
Montana, are they getting vax still or no, James?
No, vaccines are starting to slow down. Greg Gianforte, the governor, has outlawed vaccine passports. So
nobody's even using vaccine passports yet.
No.
Well,
it's stupid. I mean,
but the Republicans will proactively or preemptively ban something just to say they did it, right? So,
nice. Yeah. Fight the man.
Right.
There was
own the libs, bro. Own the libs.
Exactly. There was a big transgender thing bill that they were trying to push through. They were trying to do anti-union legislation. Yeah. So I mean, there's shit for days of what they can do now that they control both the House, the Senate, and the governorship.
I have a question for you, Dela. What's next then? You're saying there's a lot going on. We got this American Jobs Plan. We got American Families Plan. Who is this for? Something what's going on? They're for people. They're going to help people. But I'm saying in terms of 2022, I'm all for getting these plans passed. I'm big supporters of both of them. I know it's pathetic that's going through budget reconciliation, but after that, who cares? I mean, okay, we get the American Jobs Plan, we get the American Families Plan. We're all happy. It has a bunch of good shit in it. We want it, and then we lose 2022. We lose the House, and that's the end of that. So what? I guess what's the end game? Are we happy about the American Jobs Plan, the American Families Plan? Yes.
I personally am. I've always believed they should ram all this shit down the throats and move on. And once they start building this stuff, it'll be very hard. I mean, as long as it'll be very hard to turn it off, right? So, can you imagine being the president that takes away all the bridges being built? And it's for example, if someone remember the Republicans are trying to repeal Obamacare. This will be their boogeyman. They're like, oh, we've been trying and trying. You can't because everyone likes it. So this is the exact same thing. You don't want to be that person to revoke that. So, I personally think. I think it's good. I think what they're doing is very good. I hope that it lasts. But I mean, I told you. Remember, we said this together. Biden has to message the hell out of this, and that's what he's done. They're on nonstop on Twitter, on speeches, on Facebook ads, Instagram ads.
I'm getting blasted.
Yeah. So
but my question is, who cares?
It's the right people. No, who cares. The fact that people you can point to that fact that people are becoming more and more employed, right? the people who have children, right? Because they're getting a lot of credits for this, especially those who are lower income. For the rest of the year, they're getting paid just because they had kids. Okay, so all of these different benefits are hopefully going to pay off next year if people remember that who they came from. Well, the Biden administration has worked hard to push that narrative. So we'll see. We'll see how grateful people are.
Do you foresee any of this getting through the like media bubble?
Yes, yeah, I do. It already has, man.
Getting past Fox.
Yes. Even Fox can't break this thing down. Like, have you noticed? Like Fox News has nothing to say. What are they going to say? They can't do anything.
I know, but the people, but in the same way that they have nothing to say about, they say about other things, and people don't care anymore. Yeah. I think people get. I don't know if people care about benefits the way you think they care about benefits.
People don't care about benefits until they have to actually use them. That's always how it works. With Obamacare, people hated it, and then they had to use it, and now Obamacare will never go away. Same with unemployment. People have always hated that everyone's on unemployment. Then we had 22 million people on unemployment at once. All of a sudden, hey, we should have expanded this years ago. So I think that it's the fact that people had to use things were at the bottom of the bottom. Same with Social Security that came out of the Great Depression. These types of things.
It's a different time. It's a different time.
We were at a time.
Think about that. Think about that.
No, think about it. March 19th of last year, we were at the lowest point of our economy in the history of the economy. Worse than the Great Depression. So I will tell you that we got out of that. Right? And
but people are not getting that message from they're not going to get through that message. They're not going to associate with Biden because they're just going to associate something else with Biden that he doesn't have. He's not going to. He's been a banned red meat. Kamala Harris is going to put her book out to immigrant children. They're getting really fake shit, dude. They're getting really stupid shit.
This is what they're going to do. They're going to show a graph that goes like this when it comes to unemployment. Before pandemic, Biden coming in, and now we're back to normal. He's gonna show that graph sometime when it goes back to normal.
Fox News, right? Trump unemployment.
When Fox News loses
Joe Biden.
Fox News loses these two. When Fox News loses these two lawsuits to Dominion and Smart Tech, whatever the hell it's called, when they lose those two lawsuits, right? Then we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens because all that stuff.
I don't really see any hope, to be honest. To be honest with you, the only hope I see of anything actually, all these benefits are great. I think that Joe Biden can only do what Joe Biden can do, which is push these plans in that are big and get stuff done. But I think that the main thing that's missing is that doing things for the American people and messaging them does not actually sway or change any American's mind because that's already made up, because they're not getting that. They might be getting the benefits, but they're getting a mixed message on why it came to them, and they're not getting any other perspective of the truth. So it doesn't really matter what you do. I could have Joe Biden's plan give everybody just $1,000. But at the end of the day, when you go to vote again, you're not going to go, I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. We got $1,000. I'm going to get another $1,000. What you're going to get is you're going to get Fox News saying, look at Joe Biden do something else. And you didn't even know why. You're going to be lied to about why that $1,000 came to you, which means I think that it's a lot bigger than it has nothing to do with the policies. It has nothing to do with doing things. You do things because you have to do things because you actually have to in order to make the people that are paying attention or that know what's going on happy, and you're actually helping people. So I understand that principle, but these people are so lost. There's still people, 70% of Republicans still think that Joe Biden didn't actually win the election. You're telling me you give those people a fucking whatever from any of these bills, more money, a job, a child care, education, whatever it is. Who the fuck cares? They don't even believe Joe Biden won the election. You think they're going to vote for him because he gave them a job and got us out of the pandemic and got the vaccines and did all this? No, we're starting from a place of nothing. Why are we pretending doing things? Doing things is great. Doing things to convince Republicans that things are better for them under Joe Biden, completely useless. I think it's the dumbest thing ever. Messaging, blah, blah, blah. You either need to pass H.R. 1 and get control of voting Otherwise, you're completely. And you gotta make DC a state. Like, it's done. You are done trying to convince people of something. There's no persuasion anymore. There's no convincing anymore. Everything about that is dumb. It's like what a dummy would think they could do to change people's minds. It doesn't happen. It's gone.
Well,
Media owns the world.
I'll tell you, I think you might be a tad hyperbolic on that. I really do believe
James, am I hyperbolic?
You still have to convince people.
Hyperbolic, he's calling me.
I mean, I think people are going to believe what they want to believe, and that they're very insulated by, you know, the propaganda that they're fed.
It's done.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm more. I told you, I'm more optimistic on that. I believe in.
How do we prove out your optimism, Dela? Because when they lose in 2022, I know you're gonna say, oh, it's not because of Joe Biden not doing this. It's just because of the redistrict. But I'm telling you,
it's gonna be because of redistricting. Like I've always told you. You know that.
So I'm saying the benefit of your argument in this scenario of being not argument, just your optimism doesn't actually get to be proven out in any way. How are you going to prove that out?
I mean, I told you I believe that they're gonna lose the midterms.
Okay, so the midterms are gone. That's already because of redistricting. We know that. So
it has nothing to do with redistricting. I think it's just because of the fact of like the way the Democrats, the way the Republicans are eventually going to come back together. They'll eventually figure it out, and they'll come back together.
Sure.
And find a way to be like, look,
that as well. But redistricting, I think, was like 12 seats already.
Right. But
I think you get it just from the redistricting before you even have to come up with a message, which they clearly never have or never have had. They just
they just fearmonger.
Yeah, they just fearmonger. So that's fine. Fearmongering works for them, and if they get more seats from redistricting, which is why you kind of need HR1. So 2022 midterms are lost. So there goes your optimism about the messaging getting through. What's the next optimism checkpoint that we can benchmark that we can set against to prove that the messaging's getting through and that all these good things that touch people's lives are going to change votes? Essentially, that's the theory, right?
I think the thing is it's the polling on policy and polling on the president.
Polling,
polling. You can. I mean, look, like what?
Dela, I think there's crazy approval ratings for Joe Biden's American rescue plan, and you know what? They still don't believe that Joe Biden won the election. Your polls are not really that great of indicators of anything.
That tells you how hypocritical people are. They they love the fact they're getting free money, but they don't believe the guy who's giving the free money is the president. I'm like, how fucking stupid are you?
Yeah. Right? No, I understand the hypocrisy, but it also goes into the political, the media landscape, the information bubble that people are getting. They don't know. They're getting all the benefits, but you know what? A Republican could come in and say, oh, actually, I fought for that. And then Fox News will be like, he fought for it. Joe Biden fought against it. Joe Biden wants, defund the police and socialism. And you go, okay, that's the end of that. And it's like, you're not going to break that bubble. So I'm saying what my question to you is, I'm not optimistic about any of it because it's gone. You really have there's nothing to be optimistic about. The only thing I'd be optimistic about is if they sit down with Joe Manchin and tell him to shut the fuck up or do something, right? Like, that's really it. There's nothing else to be done.
I don't think that'll ever happen. You know that.
Well, that's my question then. Is there something going on behind the scenes that I'm missing? Because really what's going on is you're not able to pass any bills other than budget reconciliation, right?
Right.
Nonsense. Spending, all very helpful stuff, big plans to fight climate change, big plan to help families, big, really huge things. But my problem is there's things that aren't money spending related. There just are. And what are you going to do with that shit? How are you going to pass that stuff?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Why did Joe Manchin get to dictate what happens right now?
We talked about that from the beginning.
So then what's the solution?
He dies off, or what happened? I don't know. That might have to be the solution. I don't really know.
I have no optimism then. I'm done. I don't care. I'm glad we're going to get the American Jobs Plan or some form of it done. We're going to get the American Families Plan, and then we're going to lose 2022, probably lose 2024, call it a day, move on with our lives. And we'll be sitting here going, hey, remember when Dela was super optimistic and Dan told him that it was dumb because we already fucked up democracy? It's basically fucked. We don't have majoritarian rule in the country. Minority rules the country because that's how the state's played out. That's it. It doesn't work like that. So what do you say to that? It's fucked. We should just admit defeat. It's done. Podcast over, James. It's done.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready to do that.
What do you mean? What's the other alternative? Why don't you just accept my reality?
Because your reality sounds a little crazy.
James, is that crazy to you? Am I crazy?
No, I mean, if the Republicans are going to keep playing dirty and the Democrats aren't going to do anything about it like they've been doing for the past 20 years, like, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, Stacey Abrams is up there going, oh, yeah, this Georgia law is fucking racist and shitty. And they go like, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. You're not going to do a damn fucking thing. We're going to pass it right in front of your face and you get rid of the fucking All-Star game and we don't give a fuck. We don't care what you say because we're going to keep getting in power and you're not going to have the power. Like, it's just not going to happen. You're not going to pass these laws. Like, it's not going to work. And I'm all for Stacey Abrams shit, but at the same time, you have Joe Manchin basically saying HR 1's dead. You're not going to get it through. There's another form of the bill that I want to do where I can get 10 Republicans to join. Is anybody asking him to show this? Like, why are we? Where's the campaign where we just go, yeah, Joe Manchin's got his 10. He's going to present the bill and we're going to pass it. Or the campaign that says Joe Manchin says a lot of stupid shit and he doesn't mean anything. He's the one ruining the party. Let's spend 3 years just making fun of him, and then I'll be okay with it. You know what? I'm okay. I'm okay with that. James, you like that idea? You support me?
Sure. I don't know what it was, but yeah.
We spend the next 3 years making fun of Joe Manchin and blaming everything on him because that's it. That's it.
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
Good.
Yeah.
Well, settled then. Dela, I have a plan. What's your plan?
I don't know. Pray, bro. I don't know.
All right, so we got prayer. We got prayer, and we got bully Joe Manchin. James, you got a plan?
Let everybody vote.
No, that's not going to happen. That's not a plan.
What will happen?
A plan.
Okay, all right. Here's my realistic plan then. Move to Canada.
Okay. So we got to move out of the country.
Wait till James figures out how the wages are depressed in Canada whenever he goes up there.
Yeah, you can
get if you can live and just.
Dela, what are you talking about? Wages depressed. You don't have to pay for health care. Don't be an asshole.
I'm not being an asshole.
Wages are depressed too. By having to pay for everything out of my wages.
I've done hiring in Canada, and I'm telling you, the amount of money we paid people to do work there is like insanely low. Like
it doesn't really matter if you get to live a decent lifestyle.
It depends. It depends on what you determine as
decent. I have a question for you, Dela. You get a lower wage. You get the government to pay for your shit. What do? You got to do that cost benefit right there.
That's true. I personally have done that, but it just depends on what you define.
Oh, you personally did the cost benefit.
Yes, because I wanted to move to Toronto, and then I was like, "Oh, am I ever going to get a job that pays 6 figures in Toronto?"
You got to think about more stuff. What if you get a family? What if you have kids? Things start to change. You got to do a new cost benefit.
That's why you got to marry rich.
In Toronto?
In general.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, being wealthy basically allows you to exist in the U.S. If you're not wealthy, you're dead here. I mean, then exactly you should go to Canada. If you're Canada, it's like, hey, if I want to survive but I'm not rich, then yeah, I'm like the U.S. is not the place to be. You're screwed.
You're done. You're cooked.
My question, though, is, so we got prayer, we got move out of the country, and we got bully Joe Manchin. This crew is really falling apart, really.
We're out of ideas, Dan.
Strategic political strategy. I'm out of ideas, too. I mean, this is my idea. It's a bully Joe Manchin campaign, because otherwise it's done. I guess we can just say goodbye to 2022. I've been listening to a lot of, political talk, too, and it's like they don't even know what they're saying anymore. They're like, oh, the American jobs plan's great. The American families plan, like, we want to go bold, we want to go bigger. But then it's like it all just stops when it's like, yeah, so what about that HR 1? What about DC statehood? Yeah, like what about that George Floyd Policing Act? We're gonna work on that. Yeah, we're gonna get a whole coalition of everybody, and we're not gonna change anything real. It's like, okay, great, everyone really into all this. Like we're all really into this. Like any plan that has something to do with anything other than money, like just as a zero shot, we just give up now. It's like, yep. Right before the midterms, we're gonna get the jobs plan. We're gonna get the families plan. Like we're gonna get we're gonna get both of them in some form. And then we're just going to be sitting here twiddling our thumbs going like, Yeah, I wonder when they draw those redistricting lines if they're going to make them real fair, right? I'm sure they're going to do it real fair and equitably, right? They're not just going to make a big divot around a little Democratic area to chop them out of the pie. I'm like, I don't even understand how that's a thing that happens in the U.S., but I guess your state legislator draws remapped redistrict lines. That's normal,
right.
I guess. And you can just make your own little voting laws that don't have any kind of federal parameters in terms of restricting who can vote and like what you're doing, right? And we try to put one in, and it's not going to happen. And are we going to pack the court at some point, or we just got that little commission to like?
I don't think it'll ever happen.
I think they will. I mean, I think they just want the commission's basically input from a legal perspective of like, all right, once we do this, like, is it going to stand? Like, what's going to happen? That's all there. That's all the commission is. It's just legal scholars going to argue it.
What?
It is.
I mean, we'll see.
We'll see. So I think we've come to the conclusion, guys. You just got to wait it out. And 2022 comes, we lose the midterms. If you want to join my Joe Manchin bully campaign, you're more than welcome to. I mean, it's something.
Good luck with that.
You're on a prayer train. That's going to get you nowhere.
It's less likely to put me in prison. But you go ahead and try to bully him.
My Joe Manchin bully train? I'm not going to get into prison for that. I haven't used Twitter. They don't prison people on Twitter.
I don't know. Trump's in Twitter jail, so you never know.
No, Trump's in like luxury in Mar-a-Lago. Look what happens when you do everything bad. Nothing. It really shows you the consequence for your actions or nothing.
Everything bad, and you have money or the perception of money.
Oh yeah, no, true. Being rich solves all your problems. You can never really get in that.
Being rich adjacent puts your problems on them. That's the best way.
That is so true. Well, what about this? All right, now we're done with the political landscape. We're done. We already killed it. There's nothing happening. I'm glad about the jobs plan. I'm glad about the family plan. If people don't know about it, you should read more into it. There's a lot of good stuff in there. But 2022, it's gone already. I'm sure we'll lose 2024. It's done. Everything's gone. But on a side note, what do you think about this Bill and Melinda Gates divorce? This is what they're talking about. I heard in China it's huge too. Do you know that, James?
No, it's a big deal, bro. Because that foundation has like $50 billion, man. It has her damn name on it. It lives as Bill and Melinda Gates, bro. Like,
yeah,
so maybe it'll be Bill Gates and Melinda, whatever her last name was before. What's the change gonna be?
Her last name was French beforehand. There's no way it's
Bill Gates and Melinda French, or maybe just the Bill and Melinda Foundation.
Yeah, that's too much.
Try to get rid of Gates. Well, we solved that problem too. Now you're full of ideas, James. You're about to leave the country a second ago. Now, when we bring up a Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation issue,
my original thing was to let everybody vote, but that's obviously not going to happen. So.
Yeah, we're talking reality. Sure, that was HR1. That was my Manchin plan. Remember?
Yeah.
That was to get everyone to vote and to have funded. It was a wild plan. It's actually a pretty comprehensive plan that's not going to get passed, like most things that go through Congress right now. It's pretty crazy. Bill and Melinda Gates couldn't make it after 27 years.
But who really cares?
It happens.
What do you mean who doesn't care, James?
I'm sure they care, but it's not really, it doesn't affect us.
I feel like,
dude, have you seen the memes, bro? It's been huge.
Yeah, have you seen the memes, James?
I haven't seen the memes.
It's like Bill Gates he's like on every dating app as like a single bachelor at 65 looking to get rich or make someone else rich.
Or if you want to be be Melinda Gates's boyfriend, might as well pull. She just got $2 billion yesterday. So
may the divorce be with you. That's kind of funny.
That's good. So
yeah, it's a lot of that. That was really lame. I'm not really into the May the 4th be with you thing.
Yeah, I think it's stupid.
I think it's stupid. James, you like it?
No, I don't really like Star Wars that much.
I've only, it's funny. I've never watched Star Wars. Is that wild?
Whoa! No, I'm starting to worry about you.
Doesn't know Joel. Doesn't know. The Beatles. Star Wars, like ever?
I've never watched a Star Wars. I'm sorry.
Even the new ones, like
probably better. Star Wars sucks.
I just never got into it.
I mean, most overrated thing ever, but you should still watch them. Don't be an asshole.
I'm not being asshole, although I am staying at a house of a guy who produces movies, and he has maybe close to 400. He said DVDs I'm staring at.
Wow, DVDs are stupid.
Well,
did you tell him that?
No, because he has this like sick ass apartment, so I'm gonna let him.
Let me see it. Let's see it.
You can't. It doesn't look right now because there's like so much shit going on. He has a Bernie Sanders thing. You like that? Look, he's all in on Bernie.
Let me see it. Oh, I do like that.
Yeah, so you can kind of see.
LA people are cool.
Yeah, and then like if you look this way, he has. This is my monitor, so apologies, but he has a record player over there. He has this thing, and then
he's got a lot of curtains. Dela, watch out.
He has a lot of curtains, and then
there's
a kitchen over there.
Don't get snuck up on.
I'm not going to get stuck up on. Although these are like almost see-through curtains.
The window behind you.
No. So this is the crazy thing about this place. It's behind. So there's a big townhouse right in front of here, and this is behind a gate, which is behind that townhouse. So like, there's no one who even knows how to get here. Like you have to live here pretty much to know where this house.
How do you get in here?
Well, I know the neighbors, and I have my own private garage, which is the best thing. I have my own garage.
Do you have a Lamborghini?
I don't have a Lamborghini. I have the red car.
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
I have the red car that you had.
Yeah, well, you need a cool car. You want to know what I got? James, tell him.
Oh, wow. Talk about luxury. Now, this is a 2007 Hyundai Sonata.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, if you had a 2007 Hyundai Sonata in 2007, what do you think? Are you?
How much tail would you bring in, Dela?
Yeah.
That's what the kids say. Tail.
That's hilarious. First off, who bought that Sonata?
It's mine. It's a 2007 Hyundai. I bought it after the Kanye song came out.
Oh yeah.
He drove off in a Hyundai.
Hyundai, yeah. I remember that song.
He drove off in a Hyundai Sonata.
That was Can't Tell Me Nothing. I remember that.
Yeah. No, it's Gold Digger.
It's like, oh yeah, sorry, Gold Digger, right? My bad.
You seem to be making up a lot of song names these days.
I'm not. Just look it up. It's a song with Young Jeezy.
Say my name. Is that Paul McCartney, Michael Jackson song?
You know that Sonata. I remember. What color did you get? Maroon.
Gray.
Oh, gray. That car I wanted so bad when it first came out because I think it came out in 06. And I wanted that song. So that car so bad because it looked so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. I mean, a lot of people were talking about it while I was driving around, like, "Oh, sick car." Like, "Oh, can we like drive around with you?" And I was like, "Nah, like not now. We're doing like Troy Boy stuff." But I was like, it was pretty cool.
Where do you park it?
I park in a luxury, high-end vehicle parking thing.
So the street, got it.
High-end car owners. It's like it's very high-end. So like you probably wouldn't. Not really. They don't really do Lamborghinis or whatever. They only do.
They won't take my car. They'll take yours.
Sonatas, songs and cars. Cars that are in songs by famous rappers only.
Got it. Yeah, no one puts M235i in a car in a song.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You have too many letters in yours. That's your biggest problem.
It's not my fault. Blame BMW. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what they're doing over there at BMW. Anyway, but this 2007 Hyundai Sonata, James, tell them how much room is in the trunk. You could fit like 3
you
bodies.
You could fit a dead body in those things.
Like 3.
Wow.
I hadn't thought about it. Yeah.
You're driving a Crown Vic.
Trunk size in bodies. I do because that's in all the movies.
That is. That's how I know the what do you call this? The Crown Vic has the biggest. No, the Crown Vic has the biggest trunk of all time because that
you can fit 8 dead bodies.
That and the mob. That's why they all used to drive that.
Oh,
wow!
You
learn something new every day. I really love cars. I like how fast they go. Vroom.
I can't wait to see how fast the Sonata goes.
James, do you love the Sonata?
Yeah, it's great. What do you guys think about? What do you guys think about a 2002 Subaru Forester? Now, is that a hot car or what?
No, that car sucks.
Yeah, don't buy that. If you're gonna buy a Subaru, the only Subaru I ever suggest people buying is the WRX. The WRX. Buy that.
Is that the one that goes fast?
Yes.
Wow.
Don't get that, James. Get an old reliable 2008.
It is reliable. All Subarus are reliable.
I'm gonna get you a 2008 Hyundai Elantra.
Wow.
This is exciting. People are gonna know about cars. This should be Cars episode.
They're gonna be angry. They're listening to Dan.
Hot chops. James, you like that?
I think we should have people call you about their car problems.
Yeah. Oh my God, Dela, get some friends with car problems and tell them to call me.
I have plenty of friends with car problems.
Yeah, tell them to call me and say I got a friend that can help you over the phone. I come in and I go, hey, what's your problem? You know what you need to do? You need to get yourself over to a Hyundai dealership and ask for a 2007 Hyundai Sonata Gray. And I'll tell you how it all works.
You're so stupid.
That's a great idea, James. That's the next idea.
Gray. It's like white.
My car?
Yeah, isn't your car white?
No, it's not white. You just saw it. Like, what do you have short-term memory loss? It's like really gray, like a hard gray. It's Hyundai Sonata gray. There's not an ounce of white on that car unless the paint came off.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, anyway, boys, that was a lot. That was a lot for me. I'm doing a lot of things these days. I got a lot of people to meet. I got a lot of places to see.
See you
May
guys.
the force be with you, James.
Later, y'all.